A teaching philosophy is not one simple phrase, instead it's combined with topics that produce an educational narrative through examples of one's own experience. In 5th grade, we went on a trip called 5th grade camp. It was the first time I'd be away from my mom for 4 days straight. Of course, she wanted to know that I was going to be safe and well taken care of since she would not be part of this journey. We were not allowed to go out after dark or have pillow fights. I did not understand why this dealt with our safety until I volunteered as 5th grade camp counselor. It was incredible how out of control the pillow fights had gotten. We had girls that put items in their pillowcases to hurt others. Once creating a safe environment is accomplished, a teacher can then find out what the students' interests are. My 8th grade science teacher, Mrs. Bender, was very good at this. A couple of my friends had once asked her about electricity and how it really works. Since we were so intrigued with this idea, she gave us an extra credit assignment that dealt with creating a house that had 3 light bulbs. Even though teachers may base their lessons off interest, it doesn't mean anything if they do not care for the students and their work. A coach that I felt cared about me was my basketball coach, Mr. Weaver. My junior year in high school was his last year coaching. The whole season I had not made a basket, and he set up a play where I was the one to score the points. I ended up getting the ball and making the basket. He was so excited that he jumped up and down. My freshman year, my volleyball coach ended up writing each of us an individual encouragement letter. In mine, she wrote to keep up the work, and she noticed my improvement. Something this little made a huge difference in my attitude, and I still have the letter today. Once I can show the students I care about each of them, I can then more easily gain their respect. My last year in high school, I wanted to do a senior prank with my friends. In order to do this, I had to have gained enough respect from my vice principal, Mr. Machiniak. He knew each of us strived to get good grades, never skipped classes, and always did extracurricular activities, so he allowed us to do our prank. Our prank included having a Pac-Man and ghost costumes, and we ran around the school chasing each other. Mr. Machiniak had trust that we would not do anything dangerous or detrimental because we came to him first. I want my students to be able to come to me for anything or even for ideas of their own, like how we went to him with our idea of a prank. Not only should teachers and students respect one another, but they should also gain trust. There was a time when I was older that I had to trust my teammates. My choir teacher told me that I had to go to this concert or else she would fail me. This concert was the same day as my track conference. My mom told me to go to my track meet and do my field events, then she would take me to my concert and bring me back for the last race. My mom got me to my concert on time, then we rushed out and I changed in the car. On the way back, my teammates were texting me to hurry because it wasn't going to be much longer. My alternate and I switched places right in time for me to grab the baton, and we won it. I had to have trust from my mom, my teammates, and my coach had to have trust that I was warmed up enough to race right away. Having trust in a classroom is just as important to gain positive relationships. Positive relationships do not just appear, they are built. My English teacher had always tried to enhance positive relationships in the room. He used to always come up with a corny joke each class period. After a positive relationship has been built, a family atmosphere starts to set in. There was a time in volleyball where my teammates were not getting along. My coach then got us together and had us put all our arms in a circle, then grab someone else's hand. The rest of the practice consisted of us working together to get it untangled without breaking the connection. A family atmosphere deals with students becoming equal partners in the learning process. Students do not always want to be told what to do. They want to have a choice in the subject. The only time I remember my teachers giving us this type of privilege was in my law class. We had just finished a book that dealt with debating, and my class asked the teacher if we could have our own debate. She thought this was a great idea. Teaching should not just be what we want to teach. It should be what engages the students and what they feel is interesting. Sometimes it is easier to have an equal partnership with students by getting to know their parents. Many parents set good examples for their children, and they follow in their footsteps. For example, my friend Amanda's mom had always volunteered with the school. Now that Amanda is older, she also volunteers through the school. Many parents also have unique abilities that follow through with their students. My mom is very crafty, and that is why I am crafty as well. When we find out what each student's unique abilities are, we can then create projects that can portray these abilities. Projects that I had done over the years were creating the Mackinac Bridge, creating an illustration of China, and talking to a plant. Projects will be the thing that your students will remember years from now. They won't remember the paper, test, or worksheets that they did in the future. All these projects my mother helped guide me through. Many of the students had help from their family members. They were able to use computers, video games, anything they needed, their parents helped get them. In some schools, they are not able to have these projects due to funding. With this in mind, as a teacher, we need to be able to understand that diversity will determine what type of assignment students will be able to accomplish due to their lack of funds available. Diversity is an issue that we need to be aware of, as well as creating assignments that are relevant to students' lives. If they cannot compare themselves to the assignment, it will be hard to grasp the concept or want to understand it. In high school, things that will be relevant to students' lives are sports, football games, dances, Miss America, homecoming, and even more. At the end of assignments, I want students to be able to reflect upon the information. In 6th grade, we went to medieval times in Chicago. After this, we discussed our trip and we made a list of things we learned. A way the middle school used reflection was through a rainbow trip. This was an adventure that you were able to go on if you did not miss school more than 3 days. I went my 7th grade to Six Flags. My core principles that I want to implement into my own classroom include safety, children's interest, care, respect, trust, positivity, family atmosphere, equality, parents' background, unique abilities, project-based learning, diversity, relevance to life, and reflection. These topics build my teaching philosophy.